Hey everyone, it's Ryan with Boat Trader, and today we're here to talk to you about the basics of anchoring. We're here with Captain Jeff from America's Boating Club. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
And this is a topic you know very well, I would assume.
I've done it a few times, yes.
Yeah.
A lot of things about anchoring, but the main thing is being prepared.
Right.
You've got to know your water depth, the depth of the tide, because obviously if you're in 5 feet of water and the tide's going to go out 5 feet, your anchor won't help a lot.
Right.
So we got to know the depth of the water, the depth, the amount of tide, and where, if you're already at high tide or already at low tide, so those will matter. Then we're going to talk about scope, and that's how much line do you have out, and that's going to depend on if you have chain or if you have rope. Right. And sometimes, most of the times there's a combination. Most small boats will have 6 to 10 feet of chain, and then they'll start into rope, and that's just to keep it from rubbing on the bottom.
Yep.
And you're looking at, basically a good rule of thumb is remember 7 to 1. If the water's 10 feet deep, you want 70 feet of rope out. If you have chain, you could make it 5 to 1, but for rope, and that's what most small boats have, you're going to look at 7 to 1. The other thing we're going to look at is the weather. We're always looking at the weather. Is the tide coming in, going out? What's the direction of the current? And what is the wind? So we got to look at the wind and where it's coming from. Is it strong, light wind? A simple thing to do is look at the other boats that are already anchored in the area you're going to go anchor. They're all pointing into the wind. They're sitting there on their anchor. Think how far you're going to swing when you're on that anchor. So you got to give them plenty of room, pick a safe spot, go in, drop your anchor. We always drop the anchor carefully straight down and then start backing up a little bit, because what we don't want to do is drop the anchor down with a pile of line on top of it, because it'll just get tangled up. So let it hit the bottom, start backing away, take the engine out of gear and pay out line till you're at 7 to 1. Snub it, you can back up a little bit, put a little thing, dig in, help it dig in, and we're done.
Absolutely.
Have a nice lunch, pull it up, go snorkeling, whatever you want to do, and then we head back in.
So don't throw the anchor, drop it, let it set, boat will pull itself, or you can give it a little bit of power.
Yeah.
Reverse, right. And yeah, key point there with the scope, anchor rode, that's your anchor line, and so that's, you know, the scope is that ratio of the depth of the water to the line, so people understand.
And it's really hard, and this again, all boating goes back to preparation for safe boating. Here we have an anchor, it's on a roller, and it's a power winch to let it down, and you don't always know how much you have down. So before, it's great to take your anchor out, sit it on the dock, run the line out, and go out to 50 feet and mark the line. Go out to 75 feet and mark the line. Go at the numbers you think. If you're always going down to the Keys and you're going to be in 8 feet of water, you know you're going to need about 75 or 80 feet of line out. Mark that spot. So when that red marker comes up, that's where we tie off.
Yep. And if you're going in the same water all the time, you know those markers. Maybe you have multiple ones.
That's
for
right.
Different spots, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like you said, most modern boats are equipped with a windlass, but it's the same procedure anyways.
It's exactly the same procedure.
Yep. I know another key thing is that on small boats like this, depending on where you're going, if you're going to a sandbar and you're gonna kind of do a float up thing, or you're gonna be in tight quarters, you might want to have a second anchor on board with you so you can throw one off the stern too.
To keep you from moving.
Yep.
Very important.
Yeah.
The other thing with these power windlasses, they don't really have a very powerful motor. So if you're into a big wind and you got the anchor out, you can't expect that little bitty electric motor to pull you up. Put it in gear, just again, what we talked about in our docking video we did, just slight in gear, go up slowly towards it and pull it in.
Right.
The anchor line should always have a curve to it. Yep. If the anchor line is taut, you can't pull it in. Move up till that anchor line is sagging a little bit and pull out the sag. Move up a little more and pull out the sag till you get straight over it, and then it'll come straight up.
Yeah. And you want to make sure you bring it in nice and smooth, right?
Not in smooth, yeah.
Yep. So Captain Jeff knows his stuff with America's Boating Club. You heard it from the pros. If you want to learn more about this or any other boating basics and boating safety, you have a lot of courses online that people can sign up for.
We have courses online, and we have live classes at local squadrons all across the country. We'd be glad to have you.
Absolutely, check that out. It's a great resource. Also check out boattrader.com, of course. This is Ryan with Boat Trader. We'll see you next time.